live.
With that, we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome. welcome to the second episode of Under the Fallen Maple, a mouse guard role-playing game. So, yeah, how's everybody doing?
Great.
Super good.
Good.
I'm doing lovely. I especially enjoy the fact that each of us has a little image of our characters above us now.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty cool.
Fantastic.
Little images above us, and also, Elf and I have taken a little trip to, got stuck in the internet, and now we're stuck in two separate Japanese animes with GIFs behind us. So
That's so great.
yeah. Okay.
I gotta
So
get green screen.
I know now.
yeah,
I need
you guys
Next
need
You
some
know,
green
the funny
screens.
thing is, I'm pretty sure the one that's behind me is from Around High School Host Club. Like, I'm almost 100% sure, just looking at it, that it is.
If you can literally, wow, if you nailed that, I would be so impressed. I just went Google, so if that's actually true, if someone can verify that, that'd be awesome.
I don't know, but it certainly looks like it is.
Okay, cool. So, welcome back. We're playing Mouse Guard, and we can see over here above me, I don't have a cool little portrait because I'm the game master, but I do have sort of a path that the game takes, and what you can see, what's highlighted right now is the prologue, and that's actually an ingrained part of the game, and that's something we did not see last week because that was our first session, but that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to do like previously on Under the Fallen Maple, and one of the players here is going to volunteer themselves to say what we did last week, and if they do that right, they can do two things. They get a mechanical reward. You can either recover a point of taxed nature, or you can recover a condition. So if you got a condition at all, like if you're retired.
Wait. Recover
Staring
a
at the
point
camera?
of taxed nature?
Yeah.
Is that like
Do you
how I
remember
have
that?
3 out of 4
Yes.
nature right now?
That would boop it back up to 4.
I can totally do it. I volunteer.
You volunteer as tribute?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So then
Also, it feels like cheating.
it's not. This is a mechanical part of the game. When you were hurt, and maybe you didn't get a chance to recover last time, like we didn't, you can totally volunteer in the prologue. As long as you didn't do the same, we're the same person who recited it the previous week. You just you say previously on Mouse Guard, and you give us the thing.
Would you have to give us your best, like, announcer
Yeah.
voice, though?
Okay.
Bonus points if you do it in a transatlantic radio accent.
I don't know what that is.
Is that like the guy?
Watch out for
from
that Hitler. He's a
Korra?
bad egg.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Boop, 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 boop. Breaking news from Under the Fallen Maple. See?
No, I'm not doing
No?
that.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. I got something though. Last time on Under the Fallen Maple, our reluctant heroes, Rosie, Walen, and Ash went to Ash's former dojo, Karen, who was on her deathbed, requested that we bring to her brother for some last minute, I don't know, family shit. Anyway, we immediately set off and found an overturned tiny mouse carriage and 2 weasels who were attacking, I don't know, probably some poor innocent mice. We murdered the weasels, but some of those poor innocent mice were taken back to the weasel warrens, and we had to choose whether to go and help those mice or to continue on our quest to bring back Karen's brother. Rosie, ever the helpful mouse, ran all the way back to the dojo and gathered extra helpers to go and get the kidnapped mice. And we continued on our way to basically force, what's his name?
Finn?
Finn? To
Mhm.
force Finn to come and talk to his sister one last time.
Hold on.
That was very good. Thank you. So now you can recover a point of spent nature for that.
Yeah.
Or you are healthy, so that's the only thing you could
Okay.
recover.
Yeah.
Make note of this, Elf. You are injured and tired.
I healed her. We spent a check.
Yeah, we spent a check healing my injury.
We did.
When we took a moment after the fight.
Mm-hmm. That was my check. And then Elf donated her check for me to
You
get.
were absolutely right. It just was not checked off in your character sheet. My bad. You are totally well. You had to recover tired before injured, so you are no longer tired.
Oh,
Oh,
that's like rules or something.
Yeah, there's So I have these cool things in the bottom here called conditions cards, and you can deal yourself a card by like hitting choose, and it actually will tell you the number, and that's the priority. And so you have to give them out in like the lowest priority first. So if you're hungry, you have to deal with hungry before you're angry. So like you have to deal them off the top, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
if you're angry and sick, you can't recover being sick until you recover being angry. So you recovered being tired.
So like even though fictionally we dealt with her injury, mechanically we had to have dealt with her tired
Yeah.
first.
So it's more like she was able to rest up, and it's still like a lingering thing, right?
Okay.
Like she's still bandaged. She's probably gonna be fine, but you're hurt still.
Cool.
Okay. So there are ways to fix that. All right. So that's the prologue. Thank you for that. And let me move us over to the GM turn. Oops. There we go. So now we're in the GM turn at the side of the game, and this is when we get our mission. So I think we cut back, and we're going to start today's mission back at the dojo. Okay, so we returned on our trip, Finn in tow, back to the old Swordmaster's dojo, Ash's mentors, clan's dojo. So we start with an establishing shot inside of the dojo. Karen is sequestered from the rest of us in like a room so she can kind of rest and heal on her own. And from the sliding door emerges Finn, her brother. Eyes are red from crying, obviously, but there's sort of like a resolution on his face. Headway was made between those two for sure, but before we can get to that, Finn requests or speaks to. I think you guys may be like all kind of quietly drinking tea, and Finn requests that that Karen's mentioned that she wishes to speak to Ash, to her pupil, one more time.
Sure, of course. Anything. Stand up from my little cross-legged sitting position drinking tea.
Yeah.
Put that on like whatever surface we've got. And,
Yeah.
dust myself off a bit.
And as soon as you walk over there, Yuki returns with the band. No other mice are in tow, by the way. But so we go, but then we cut into the private chambers, right, with Karen. See, Karen is very well kept. She's in a lot of like furs and like or woven kind of like a sleeping bag kind of thing, right, on the floor. There's some tea near her, some food that looks untouched. She uses her frail hand to like kind of like pull you close, right? And
what is it? I'm listening.
She says, "I don't have much time anymore, but it pains me, my pupil, that I cannot leave you this dojo. Tradition demands that my child take it. My child Yuki, although she's not ready. Nevertheless, I do have something for you. Something I think that will more represent my pride for you, your own abilities." And she uses her same hand that she pulled over. She points to her set of swords to her side. Right, her samurai sword, her katana, and she says, "Take it." And
you want me to take your sword? You should. I mean,
she nods. I have grave fear that you will have need of it very soon.
Ash is like a little bit reluctant. It's one of those things where it's like you don't take take a warrior's sword away from them on their deathbed. Like
It's a
no
gift.
matter.
She's prepared for it. She's telling you to take it.
Yeah, and it's for that reason that she walks over to it and sort of picks it up from its stand place.
Yeah, it's got like a nice long cream kind of colored what do you call it, sheath. Embedded is a light like maple seeds. Like maple seeds have like a twin kind of thing to like leaf to them. That's like embedded down the sheath. The rest of the handle is like creamy orange and brown, and the hilt has sort of like maple leaf engravings around it. It's a very old sword. She says, this is Leaf Cutter, made by the legendary craft mouse Hanzo. So while I can't give you the dojo, I give you this. Still as sharp as the day it was made.
And I bow very low, with as much respect as possible, with the sword still sort of held up, my head down, and say, like, I will treasure it always, and it shall carry with it the memory of my training here in this place and with you.
Yeah. And she says, my child Yuki is too proud to ask you for more help, but I'm afraid word of my imminent death has covered the land like the blossoms that are falling this spring now. I'm afraid our rivals, the Terada clan, would no doubt make a move on this dojo. She says, I ask you to do what is required to defend our legacy.
Of course, I'll help, and I hope my friends will help as well.
Yeah, she nods, and that's kind of it. And us as players, we all kind of heard that, and that's going to be today's mission. Okay? So today's mission is going to be protecting the dojo from the Terada clan.
Okay.
So is this a wave-based mission?
Yeah. Yeah. This is what do they call them in Destiny?
It's horde mode. It's
Retori Hanzo _. I didn't even think of that. That's super good. I'm gonna nerd out real quick. Hanzo, this is the person who made that sword that you have. It's the same person who made the Emperor's sword, as well as the 4 other clan leaders' swords, like their hierarchical swords.
Super famous sword crafter guy.
And if you want to, you could write. This weapon also has more benefits than just a typical sword. Okay. This sword has a trait to it, just like a character would. It can break. You can break ties in fighting conflicts in your favor with this sword.
Oh, cool!
Should you choose to? It's the most powerful sword. But if you wanted to in character, when you want to use that, you have to describe why the sword is the thing that like helps you, right? So just keep that in mind. It's a very, very powerful weapon. Okay.
Got it.
Cool. So now it's goal setting time. Everybody.
Okay.
I assume you share this mission with other people.
Of course I do. I go right back out to where they're sitting, drinking tea, and go like, we need to help Yuki defend this place. Our enemies are coming. They've heard of Karen's sickness.
Our enemies. Where do these enemies come from? Are they from one of the 3 other like kingdoms or tribes or
tell us about what we would know about the Terada clan.
Sure. So the Terada clan is a subset of the old Maple Guard. Actually, they are just a rival sword school, a fighting dojo that's always been after your territory.
So it's in the same area as this one,
which is still
it's some ways away, but yes, it is your rival,
which is still Plum territory. I think
it's technically Plum. Yeah.
So there wouldn't be any conflict with us being like myself being Cherry, or like it's still a Plum territory tribe, and therefore like we shouldn't have any like. Okay.
Yeah. Technically, this is
politically, it's like infighting, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool.
By the way, Fake Alex Blue mentioned a bit clarity about the sword's trait. It's called legendary. That's what I'm calling it.
Okay.
Or you could call it Hanzo blade. If it's just the fact that the blade is made by the legendary swordsman. It's instilled with perfect craftsmanship. It's glorious Nippon steel or whatever, right?
Cool. Yeah. So
this is like a Kill Bill sword, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I ask Ash basically that question, like, who are these people? Like, why are they our enemies? And then she says, like, it's this.
They're a rival sword school. They're from nearby, but they've always been jealous of Karen's, greater reputation and further success. And now that she's sick, they're going to come and try and usurp this place from her child, Yuki, my friend, who it will fall to run this place when Karen is gone.
Just as an aside, I'm like not fully listening and kind of hovering around Ash, like looking at the sword, like sort of admiringly, like,
yeah, Ash is definitely like,
what's going on here?
Ash is standing very straight, there's like a new sword in her belt with the other one, like sort of, next to it, her original sword.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess I like ask, being, like aware of the usual paths of succession and everything. I ask, is it not a matter of proving herself that Yuki should be the one to handle this? I mean, if she cannot defend this dojo from this clan, then why does she deserve it at all? If you are needed to defend it, then why did it not go to you?
It falls to Yuki's hands through matters of blood, obviously, but the issue is that Karen is not yet passed from this world, and already they are dishonoring her by attacking in her weakened state, by coming here and causing trouble while she should be spending the last few moments of her life peacefully. This isn't about the school, not for me. This isn't about Yuki and her right to defend this place. This is about the wishes of my master, and her final breaths.
I'm sure it is not that you just wish to fight.
If I have to fight, then I will happily do so. I spent time here, learning here, becoming who I am, and everything I know here in this place. I'll defend it from usurpers till the day I die.
Yeah, let's do it. This is going to be awesome. Also, Rosie, Ash got that sword. I don't think Yuki's going to be, she gets the place, but we still get the sword. You get the sword, Ash.
Ash sort of bristles a little bit, like, yeah, my sword.
Oh, no, of course. I merely wish to examine deeper the reasons for us interfering with a matter of plum territory politics.
You see Ash's lovely plum-colored cape as well. She's born and raised here, and she says in reply, well, once we serve the Maple, the great emperor of these lands, does that not make us still responsible for everyone, no matter what the clan?
Absolutely.
Whoa. Well, I don't know about everyone, but yeah, we should protect people, and we can do this. I know we can.
In the end, it's a matter of law. If they're coming here to unlawfully usurp this place, then it is within what I consider to be my duty to defend it. She says way too personally, like very much like, of course it's law, but also I'll kill motherfuckers that come here. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I have like an eyebrow raised at that, but like I'm still like standing behind you in support.
Yeah, you guys both know it's a thinly veiled excuse.
And just a little addendum as well. Ash, you know that, if Yuki were on her own here, you know that she would give her life for this place, but it would probably fall, right? And that's how it would transfer. Because, Yuki is, she's proud and she's just as and dutiful as you, but she just lacks the skill and honed ability that you possess, right? So you've always been the one who's kind of protected her. She's your friend. You know this about her. Okay? So, following of which, I think we'll just see a quick scene about the Tarada clan, right? So we cut over to another dojo, and you see at this dojo we're in a one of those like manicured gardens, and we see a large mouse with a large brown cloak around him, some gardening supplies and some scissors, and he's like trimming up like a chrysanthemum or something like that, right? He's pruning flowers, and we don't see the face of the person who comes into the dojo, but we hear the slide of the door, and we see kind of like an side over the shoulder shot of the person. They're wearing full like heavy mouse armor, and he's wearing it's like a purplish metal gray, and you see he's wearing a helmet in the shape of rhinoceros beetle, right? And says, "Master," "Master, it's time to strike." And you see the mouse who's pruning the chrysanthemums nods and says, "Indeed, Karen's legacy will fall, and a return to Tarada. She was wrong to cast me out, and our legacy and our name will be restored." So. And he does like the sort of like hand over the thing, right? And it's like, "Your will be done, my master." And he marches off out of the place. Okay, so fictionally, you have a few days to prepare. Okay, so I'm leaving this kind of open ended to shore up this place. As far as places and things to do, and for the funeral, there's about 10. Maybe like 12 students as like pupils who you could probably train or so like that to help this place, who would be willing to defend this place and have as much of a duty to this place as you, Ash, or Yuki, right? You also could do some other things like reinforce places defensively, just to name out some kind of like maybe some zones and stuff like that. We could describe the stone walls around the dojo.
So we're just doing like the montage sequence.
Yeah, shoring up things, right?
Yeah, like what's our montage? What are we all doing?
I'm leaving this open ended of what you guys want to do to prepare. Arousing speech is a possibility. Militarily training people is a possibility.
I was gonna say we have a bunch of students here, and I'm definitely the best, so I will train all of them to sword better.
Yeah,
I think that
no, go ahead.
I think that Walen and I get the whole like montage of us like looking at a map and like pointing at things.
Yeah.
And being like here and over here.
You guys are doing the like planning, and then it
looks very tactical.
The smash cut to Ash with leaf cutter in her hands, like training these other mice like in this complicated kata.
Yeah.
I just want to mention also like sort of at the end of each day, leading up to all this, after parting ways with everyone, like going to sleep or whatever, I'm actually like donning a mouse hoodie and like running up the castle steps, and up and down. I'm like doing conditioning just like late at night when no one's around. I like don't want anyone to know that I'm sort of going that extra mile right now. So you guys don't know about it, that I'm like actually that focused or anything.
Yeah, you like throw your cloak up and train in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You think it would undermine your like sense of like we'll do fine. Like,
yeah. Oh, and just before we get too far into this, so it doesn't seem weird, I kind of retconned my character a little bit from last week. So I rewrote my belief, and it's basically life's too short to take too seriously. So like overall demeanor is kind of in that vein.
Okay.
Chill.
And yeah, I have a goal this time, by the way. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
We all wrote down goals, right? Like I gave
I
you
don't-
time to do that,
Yeah.
right?
I don't have a goal.
Okay.
Oh, I still
Well,
have the same
let's
goal.
Okay, then let's do a quick timeout before we go any further. Let's write our goals, as well as let's give an opportunity for people who are just catching up and just joining in. Maybe let's describe our characters once more, as well as our current stated belief as in an instinct as well. How about that? Okay.
Okay.
So, Bluejay, how about you start?
Okay. My character's name is Rosie. She is a little red furred mouse from Hanamura, part of the Cherry clan.
Mhm.
Clan. And my belief is no mouse left behind, which kind of was illustrated in the first bit when I went and made sure that we tried to save those guys from the weasels. My goal this session, and I think last session as well, was to learn why Ash is so quick to violence. I think we're getting there, but maybe not quite the why of it. And then my instinct is if there's work to be done, always offer help. So even though I was questioning a bit why we were assisting Yuki when she should be able to defend this place on her own, I think like no matter what, even if I'm like questioning it, like of course I'll help. That's always a given. That's my character. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Cool. Ash or Waylon? Somebody want to go next?
So my goal is just that I want to like prove to my friends that they can trust me to lead. And just we haven't done like too much background stuff, but can we agree that like whatever the circumstances were, I kind of like fell into the position of patrol leader due to like, you know, something out of my control.
Yeah, definitely.
And it wasn't
Yeah.
something that I like intended to find myself in, but like now I feel the pressure a little bit, even though I'm like laid back and chill.
You still want to be a good leader, you know. Yeah. I guess, was there anything else to go over for Waylon?
Oh, you should go over
Yeah.
your beliefs and instincts.
Instincts, yeah.
Yeah, Ash. Would you like to go over?
Oh, no,
you-
no, I won't.
no.
Oh, Waylon.
For Waylon.
Yeah.
What's
He
your
said his belief earlier, but can you repeat your instinct and your belief for us, Waylon?
Oh, sorry. I was reading chat. So my belief is life's too short to take too seriously.
Oh, okay. So that's the
Yeah.
belief. The
Yeah,
goal was
that's-
to prove that you're worthy of.
Yeah, my goal is to prove that you guys can trust me to lead. And my instinct is still always consult Ash when the trouble arises, because that's kind of, I fall back on that because Ash is so gung-ho about everything. It's
Yeah,
like,
Ash always has an answer, but it's always the same answer.
yeah, like
Just
I'm not of the same like temperament, but I sort of gravitate to the assertiveness of it, and I'm just like, okay, let's do this. Yeah, you're really angry. I'm not really that angry, but let's do it.
Yeah, Ash just has the fire. She just brings the fire. And speaking of which, Ash, little black mouse with a purple cape and some tufty hair on top there. You can see her in the picture just above me. Her belief is that the best solution is found at the blade of my sword. So the best choice is always the sword choice. My goal right now is to preserve Karen's honor and defend the dojo. And my instinct is always draw my sword at the first sign of danger. So
Yes.
that's it.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you, guys. All right. So now let's actually start doing some stuff. So in terms of mechanics, this is called a complex obstacle, where it's going to be a series of tests, and we're going to be narrating each of these different steps, because this is exactly what we're talking about, is the montage phase of the game, right? As we're doing this sort of prep thing. So who wants to step up first and suggest something that they're doing? You can totally let the mechanics inform you in the way that, like, this would be good because I'm good at this and this could help. Or you could do it just straight up fictionally and try to learn, like, this is a good opportunity to try to learn a test or learn a skill. Like, a good chance to learn militarist, because if you don't have it, or, you know, or whatever. Like, It's your character. What do you think your character would do?
Let's see. I don't have orator or instructor. And I think both of those would be valuable in this situation, like the orator for the like pep 'em up speech, but that's probably more likely to be done by Ash, considering it's Ash's dojo, right? Well, the one that she came from.
Yeah. So unless you're a better speech giver.
She's
I mean,
Ash is real good at sorting stuff, but that's kind of it. Like, she's the fighter.
I think that for like my task, as it were, I could either do hey, like Ash, you do the like, we'll be fine, and then I come up and be like, let's talk more about this. And then, or I could teach people like instructor and try and like teach some herbalism to people, but that could also be like the herbalist trait or whatever. Like I just, in terms of the ability to like start learning a skill, those are the two that I don't have that I might like to.
Yeah.
If you can think of a cool situation and this is the scene that you want to have, I would be all about it, right?
Can it be working on existing skills too, or is it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not. I was just pointing out the fact that it could be a skill that you wanted to learn, right?
So, yeah, because that was just my thought. Was like that would be a good like low stakes chance to like make a test like that. Yeah, I guess like at the end of things, like I could try and orate a bit, but maybe like as the like last thing. Do you have instructor, Elf?
I do not.
You should totally test for instructor. Because
I do have 6 fighter though. Like, Ash is very good. She's just maybe not good at communicating why she's very good. But yeah, I should totally test for instructor.
I mean that's the classic Japanese teacher, right? Who's good at fighter but sucks at teaching, and just so I can't teach you how to do it right. I'm just gonna keep hitting you when you do it wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very martial arts movie.
No, your stance is shitty.
Exactly. Archer, back straight. Bend your knees.
How are you ever gonna fight a weasel with that stupid sword?
But fighting is strictly not instructing. You could help instructor with fighting because that's the relevant skill.
Okay, so how do I test instructor then? In this case, as a thing that I don't have.
So there's 2 things you can do, and these are 2 ways of doing it. You can instruct either via just rolling your nature and being like, I'm electing not to learn the skill. I'm just going to use my nature. Or we can do the beginner's luck version, and this could start you on the process of learning instructor.
We're totally going to do the beginner's luck version. 100%.
Okay. So instructor is a will-based test. So what you'd be doing is you'd be using your will ability in lieu of any instructor score for your test here. And this is where it starts, right? So that's your starting die pool. You're going to be doing just like any other skill, looking for relevant traits, relevant gear or supplies, people helping you. Maybe a trait you want to call on advantageously or not.
Can I call on the trait of my sword? To
like it's so impressive.
Well, don't ask. Can I call on it? Show me why. That's why.
Because it is Karen's sword, and this is a dojo full of Karen's students. I feel like the legendary trait of Leaf Cutter.
I think it is relevant, but you haven't shown me. You haven't shown me. What is that? So what are you doing that inspires these people on this while you're teaching them with this sword? What is it?
I mean, I speak to Yuki about, trying to instruct some of the students in how to fight better. And those that are there, hopefully all of them, because we know the threat is coming, can see that, I have been gifted this weapon by their great sensei, who they're learning things under, and that shows a huge amount of trust.
Okay.
And what would you call it? Like confidence in me to do the right thing. So it's sort of like, the spirit of their teacher who is, sick and dying, is in their teacher's sword. And I have that.
Yes, exactly. So, and your proficiency, I imagine, plays into that as well. Like you are someone to worthy of respect.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. So I would allow two things. I would let your sword actually count as supplies or count as a trait.
Okay, so if I use it as supplies, I'll have a trait for later.
Yeah,
so.
But it's effectively you described that you narrated the same thing. But I'm letting you use a personality trait if you wanted to as well for this role.
Bold or fearless and my other two. I don't really think either of those apply to teaching.
Okay.
Not for Ash anyway. Bold and fearless are like direct confrontational things for her. Mm-hmm. So because I don't have any in the skill, I'm rolling will?
So you're rolling will, and you've gotten at least one for supplies. Now you can ask for other people to help you. And then, Bluejay and Colin can suggest how Walen and Rosie are helping, and they can give you a die based on their own instructor or their own fighter skill, or maybe something else relevant if you want to narrate it. I might be willing to.
Are either of you present in the training?
I will always help.
Yeah, I mean, I think throughout the day, I'm totally with you guys.
So how do you help? What does it look like? What are you doing to help them?
I think for Rosie, it's like she's a lot like calmer and more like used to being taught. She studied under like a doctor and a healer, and like her mother is like she takes apprentices for baking, and so Rosie sees Ash doing like. She'll do a maneuver and then get really frustrated when the people don't immediately pick it up like after her. And so Rosie kind of like goes through and does the whole like yoga instructor thing where she like no, put your elbow up a little bit more, and like you need to step here, and like she's just like when Rosie's just do this thing, like
she's bad instructor, you're good instructor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's very like quietly like not kind of taking away from Ash's prowess or like skill, but she like looks at what Ash is doing and then at people who are like obviously like doing it just a tiny bit wrong, and she's like no, just this little part and you'll be good.
I love it. I love Ash. Ash is like, if Ash was streaming PlayerUnknown's Battleground, like, what's the advice of winning this game? It's like, get good.
Yeah.
And you're like, no. Like, hold on.
Shoot their face.
Don't take those engagements on that hill. Don't do that. Like, hold on, let me show you. Like, come with me. Let's play duos for a little bit. Like.
Well, I'm not trying to take them away from Ash as like being the instructor. I'm just like helping out a little.
Yeah,
bit.
You're imparting that. And okay,
cool.
So what skill is that? It's a fighter. Are you helping them with fighter for that?
Yeah,
like showing them like better stance, like you're you were okay. I just want to make sure I was hearing you right for that. Cool. Yeah, totally. So you have so you have a help for that as well, Elf.
So I have 7. No, cool. 6.
6. And is Walen, you're helping how?
I think I'm like sort of addressing the students as well, but not in as sensitive a manner as Rosie. I'm sort of like, I don't know if this applies, but I have persuader, and I was thinking like maybe going to people and like whispering to them like, hey, you should lift that a little higher. You don't want to be considered the runt of the class or anything. You should just like kind of pushing them in a not very friendly but like joking manner. But I also have a high fighter, so I can just like
say
help
it's
with
fighter,
technique and stuff too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you're both doing
just for like style. It's a different approach than
teaching.
Rosie's, and so I think class maybe is getting mixed.
Well, I think that's important because I think that imparts a certain perspective of all our characters and the way you approach a problem. So I like that a lot. So cool, good work, guys. Okay, so what's your total pool right now, Elf? 6 or 7?
7 right now.
7? Okay, so Ash has 7 dice. You're going to half that number of dice and roll that.
Okay, so does it half down or up?
I believe it halves down.
Okay, so 3.
Yeah. Unless you can, if you can figure out how to be bold and bump that to another one or something. Or it doesn't matter. Anyways, yep. So the obstacle that you're going against here is 2 for the whole class.
Oh, I left a thing blank. Damn it. Yeah, my bad.
Don't worry about it.
0. What 2?
Success.
Whoa, nice.
Awesome.
Yes.
Nice work. Well done. You have imparted with them knowledge and skills that will help them for the battle to come.
So, what does this mean when you're? Is she now like got a point in instructor, or is it just a pass on advancement, or?
Yeah, good question. So go ahead and mark a pass for instructor. Once you have done a number of instructor tests equal to your max or your current nature score. So if your nature was taxed, that factors in, right? So whatever your nature score is, your current nature score. Once you have a number of tests equal to that current nature score, boop, you level up that skill immediately to 2.
Cool. All right, so I need 3.
So
1 is not.
Or lose or fail a nature test and drop your nature, and then you learn instructor.
I mean,
sure. That's a way of doing it. So
cool.
Okay.
All right, so
cool.
That's one of the things that I did.
Thank you, Elf. That was really good. That was a cool scene. I like that.
Just Ash trying to instruct 15 or so other awkward students how to sword things.
So
the two of you moving around in the crowd being like, no, don't listen. She's just mad. It's fine. Don't let her yell at you. Don't let her yell at you. Do this. It'll be right. I just love that.
What Yeah. So what else are we gonna do in defense of the dojo, guys?
I think like my thing should be at the end. So Colin, whatever you feel like, if you feel like testing something, or just like.
So I'm thinking like in trying to take on some new leadership initiative, is there a way I can like set about sending out like scouts or something and try to achieve some sort of advantage in that regard for what's coming?
Yeah, organizing the people into patrols and stuff like that, and do a scouting test.
Yeah, try to be a little more tactical and stuff.
Totally. That would be an easy scouting test. This will be a versus test against the other clan. Okay. As far as an obstacle goes, they're going to be rolling 5 dice to give you an idea.
Okay. Does anyone help with that? Or is that just...
I can help with directing scouts. Yeah. I know some of these students from my time here, and I know which ones will be caught and which ones won't. Who can stay sneaky in the hidey holes and underbrush.
Yeah, I'm just like, Ash, don't send me the slackers. This is kind of important.
So I think that's probably how I help. I just I sort of like help pick the right mice for the job.
Any help from Rosie?
Always. I will always be helpful. I feel like I'm a very good scout. And I have scouted for our party before. I've been through the woods around this place on our previous mission. So I feel like I give you some like hints and things to look out for, and maybe some like good vantage points that I noticed when I was like going through the woods before. Cool. So I give you some info with my scouting.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, didn't type 0. Forgot.
Okay. Then I have to go ahead and roll mine.
We can do it, I believe.
Oh, I didn't put a 0 in it again.
We have all made that mistake already.
Did we? Have we all? We have all now made that mistake.
Yeah.
Sad, what's sad is that I'm trying to do I should know better. Ooh, that's rough. So I got a 4.
So we just like don't know what's happening.
Oh no.
Maybe the scouts don't come back.
No, the scouts do come back, but it's it's not that. It's that the sky opens up and it's starting to rain. And it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be raining this whole fight.
So it's like...
So this is going to make things more difficult.
Yeah.
I love me some Last Samurai rain fight scene.
I was thinking like Helm's Deep, but
like a Helm. Yeah.
Helm's Deep is also a pretty good touchstone for this.
And so it begins.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So so what this happens is this is a twist. So you're unable to get any information about the clan and like how many people are coming or anything like that. Because it's just getting dark and it's one of those heavy rains that it's hard to see out in the distance. But you know that if someone's attacking, this is going to slow them down too. It's a disadvantage for both sides, right? I think it's also around this time that finally Karen passes. So I think a funeral is held. If you wanted to do an oratory speech at the funeral, that's an option.
I barely knew her.
Yeah, I know, but no.
I mean, I guess like fiction. Okay, so let me know, Elf, if this is okay for your character.
Ash is like grief stricken, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like, it's one of those things where like she's trying to be all like, I'm strong in the face of the adversity that is to come, sort of thing. But she's definitely like, and you can tell like because you've known her like for some time, she's like very only just holding it together with whatever speech that you're gonna make here.
Yeah, so I feel like what happens is like we're at this funeral and they ask you to speak and you like do that whole like, yeah, Karen was, and then your like voice cracks and you can't like keep going.
Yeah.
And so I come up to you, Rosie comes up to you and she like puts a hand on your shoulder and she says to the gathered crowd, because she's not emotional as emotional as everyone else because she's, you know, rather new and she's
further
like,
from the situation.
Yeah. And so she says to everyone, she's like, I may not have known Karen, but I knew the results of Karen's work, and that is you, that is Ash, that is this dojo and its reputation, and these things have touched my life and are obviously the results of someone who was hardworking and indomitable of will. We have an opportunity to, what's the word I'm looking for? We have an opportunity to protect what Karen worked so hard and so long for. We have a responsibility to protect this. In the coming days, there will be much struggle. But with what she has given you, her life and her, what's that word? That means what's there after you're gone? Her, I don't know. Anyway.
Spirit.
Her spirit or like chi
past,
or...
No, it's like your
Legacy.
Her legacy. Yeah, there we go.
Legacy.
With what she has left, her legacy resides in you. And with that will be enough to carry us through this battle and into victory. So she just like links it towards
Awesome.
And just by the way, I'm like really pumped by that speech, and in the background I'm like, here, and then I cover my mouth because I realize like it's not appropriate.
It's a funeral.
Yeah.
This is fucking.
Yeah, it's a somber funeral affair. Everybody's heads are bowed, and Waylon's like, yeah.
So yeah, maybe that was supposed to be kind of a heart to heart, but yeah, with Walen overhearing it, it was kind of like a louder, like maybe other people, right?
No,
so
it was definitely going from the like funeral thing and into like let's kick some ass.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So is this a
This is a orator test.
Going for an orator.
I'm gonna go for beginner's luck because I don't have.
I'm helping you by standing up
That's
there
fine.
looking awkward.
I
I make for a good jumping off point.
I'll let you know this is an obstacle 2 test.
Okay.
For it.
So what would
Do
I
you
test
remember
for
order?
orator?
It's so social skills as well. Just here's a real quick note. No problem letting you know it's a will test. Okay, I actually didn't do that here. I'm a dummy. Never mind. Forget I said anything. I'm a dummy. I thought I had a handout. If you actually just bear with me real quick, I might be able to find it. I have a cool handout that color codes the tests and skills so we can all know that going forward.
Wow.
Because that's what I do for fun, apparently. You know what? I can't find it. I'm sorry, guys. I'll find it on the break. Okay. So, anyways, it's a will test. It's a social skill. It's a will. So the will is the base. Do you remember how we're gonna be doing it just like any other skill, but then you half the total number of dice?
So I use will, and then I think I'm gonna use determined.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds very well. You're determined to hold them back after that speech. It was so like from the heart, right?
Yeah. And then Ash, what are you helping me with?
I guess if I need to help you with a skill, I'm probably helping you with it's like almost manipulator, but like not really. I don't know. I don't know that I have a skill.
Could it just be like nature?
Yeah. I mean,
like she is in her, like she's overcome, like she can't.
Yeah, she's overcome by emotion. She's in a place where her strict honor.
Here's actually a fun fact. It's actually coming from your will. Beginner's luck people, because it's actually a will test. You can help with will. Is how it works that way. This is a weird case where that never actually come up yet.
That makes sense.
But it's because so if everyone's untrained people can help untrained people because no one knows what the fuck they're doing. It's a weird burning wheelism. You're weasel wise and hidey hole wise. It doesn't really help here. I was gonna say I could recommend whenever you're not sure and unfamiliar, you could help with something. Typically, skills help skills, abilities help abilities. Unless a wise can factor into anything, as long as it's relevant.
It's will then.
Yeah.
Okay, so and is I guess Walen helped with his little like outburst at the end.
Yeah, I'm not sure what skill that is though.
Will or oratory is what I would say as a GM. Will. Just will's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so I would have 3 helping die, but because I'm having it, basically just say none.
1.
Is that how I would enter this?
It's 1 die. Helping, right? So what's your base will?
With 3.
3.
So
then you got 3 helping dice.
To help. So basically, I'm just rolling 3. Right?
So you have 6 dice, and you can just straight up just roll 3 dice. Yeah, okay. Exactly.
And you gave Ob 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Boom.
Perfect. Well done.
So I would mark a pass for order.
Yes, you do.
Cool.
Yep. And just like Elf, once you get to the max current nature, you learn the skill. So it seems like it's far off, but using your nature, this is one of the big trade-offs of the game that is probably revealing itself to you now. Having a high nature means you can go Super Saiyan, right? When you want to add your persona to a role, but it makes it really hard to learn skills. So if you have it a lower though, you can quickly learn skills. But then when it comes down to business, you don't have any energy. You can't charge up. You're not, your power level's way under 9,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. That's a real thing. Okay. Cool. Thank you. That was awesome. I feel like at this point, everyone is kind of ready to go. And we hear the sounds of marching coming close to the steps of the dojo. And we're going to go to our first break here. And we're going to come back with the assault. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, guys. Thank you so much.
Sweet.
This was super fun. Chat, this is wonderful. Thank you so much for the help and the advice and reminding of everything. I love the backseat jamming stuff. We're gonna be back in 5 minutes. We'll see you guys on the other side.